What is going on, Bears fans? I am super pumped to finally be back for a brand new live. As you can see behind me, we have the official Chicago Bears 2021 schedule. Everyone should be pumped up about this. This is probably one of my favorite time of the years. I know we have draft night, and then we have free agency, and then we have all these different aspects that go in, but this is what it's all about. This is what offseason is about, is to prepare for the season. I think we all knew that even before the schedule was released, we understood that our schedule was going to be tough. I think we had to be realistic here that our schedule was going to be super tough. So before I get deep into it, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. I know I started the live a little bit early. I hope you guys are doing good, staying healthy, staying cool, because it's super hot where I live. And thank you so much for joining the live. So I'll start in a couple of minutes. I'm going to try to let a couple more people come in. Like I said, I was supposed to start at 5. Got a little eager. The Chicago Bears officially posted the schedule, the one behind me. So it is official. The schedule behind me is official, and I am having mixed emotions about it. I don't even know how to feel about about this schedule. It's a little bit scary, a little bit intimidating to say the least. How's everyone doing today? Everyone's doing well? Like I said, I know I started the live a little bit early. I said I was going to start at 5 p.m. Like I said, I got a little anxious. Everyone's posting the schedule, so I thought I would hop on a little bit early. But I will allow some other people to get on. Like I said, thank you guys so much for joining the live. I post in the YouTube community page a lot to see how you guys are feeling about these lives, and I get a pretty good response, a good reaction to these lives. So as long as you guys are liking the content, I will continue going live. I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty simple. Just press a couple buttons and you're live on YouTube, so I can't complain about that. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear my voice okay? I want to make sure you guys can hear me on the other side. What's going on? I never played World of Warcraft. I never played it. I'm usually into those sports games. So I never played that game, but it sounds pretty interesting. Thank you so much for joining my live. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining the live. Appreciate all you guys. Super excited. The schedule behind me, it looks a little bit intimidating. It really does. But I feel like after drafting Justin Fields, I have a little bit more confidence in the direction of the Chicago Bears. And we'll get into that. Like, if Justin Fields, let's say he starts from week 1, I wonder what our record would be compared to, let's say, if Andy Dalton played a whole season. That's a really intriguing question that I've been thinking about all day long. I've been thinking about that question. Like always, like I say in all my openings, make sure you tell people about the podcast. Tell them to hit that subscribe button. If they're a true Bears fan, if they want all the Bears news, they can find it here on KIEQ on the Mic. Trying to create a big Bears community here in California. Like I said, I'm one of, I think, 2, maybe 3 podcasters that actually cover Bears in California. So it'd be really cool to really create a big Bears community here in California. Because I know truth be told, I know there's a lot of Bears fans in California, so I know they're around for sure. Yeah, I doubt Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, will play a whole season. A lot of people have been calling him the the Red BB gun, which I thought that was kind of funny. The Red BB gun. He's not even. Come on, just respect the man. The Red BB gun. I thought that was pretty funny though. I'm not gonna say here and lie. I thought it was hilarious actually. It is 5 o'clock. I know I started a little bit early. I got a little anxious. You know, this is an exciting time of the year when the schedule actually comes out and you figure out who you're actually going to be playing. You know, and like I said, our schedule is tough. We have the third hardest schedule in the entire NFL. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm not going to try to figure it out. But somehow the Chicago Bears have the third hardest schedule in the NFL this year. So if the Bears, let's say they win and make the playoffs, no one can say crap to me. Because somehow the Bears have the third hardest schedule. They should. To me, I think the Bears deserve to play a least tough schedule. But hey, no excuses. No excuses. No excuses at all. If the Bears go out there and handle their business and take care of business against this really, really tough schedule, that would make me a really, really happy Bears fan right here. Thank you so much. All the way from Chicago. Much love to you. Thank you so much for joining my live. I appreciate you. I love Chicago. Man, I remember talking to my fiance, you know, after 2 times going there, I'm like, you know what? I really want to move to Chicago. You know, I've had dreams to try to work for the Chicago Bears. But I don't know. After you leave California, I heard it's really hard to get back into California. So as much as I love Chicago, I guess I'll just come visit every once in a while. I guess, you know, I wish I can live there sometimes, but I guess I do love California as well. A lot of people from Chicago. How is it living in Chicago? I'm curious. How is it living in Chicago? I'm really, really curious. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for joining my live. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all your guys' support of the podcast. I feel like my podcast is growing and it's continuing to grow with all these wonderful Bears fans to talk to. And that's the reason why I did it. You know, I have passion for the Chicago Bears. And I was like, why not do a podcast on the Chicago Bears and talk to like-minded people that also love the Chicago Bears? Yeah, I remember my first time visiting Chicago back in I think it was 2018, 2016 maybe. We went to a bad part of Chicago to go to a Walmart. And we kind of got trapped for a little bit. And it was a terrifying time in my life. Very terrifying, but the first time we went, it was super, super cold. We went for a Week 17 game against the Packers, and man, let me tell you, my face felt like it was gonna tear apart. You know, because us California folks, it never gets that cold here in California. So when we went back in 2016 in December, that was an experience for sure. Great food, yes. Yes, I have to admit, Chicago has some bussin' food out there. I have to give Chicago that. The deep dish pizza. I think I would gain 10 pounds instantly. I don't know. Just the area that we were in, you know, in California as well, has those areas where you just kind of try to avoid. And that's how it made me feel. Like when I got to that area, I was like, okay, you know, just watching my surroundings and stuff. And I'm not even sure if I was actually scared of that area. It was more about being trapped. Like once we got out of Walmart, we tried to get a Lyft, we tried to get an Uber, and no Lyfts or Ubers were around that area. So we were literally stranded for about 45 minutes to an hour until we finally found a lift. So, I don't know. I don't know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone that's joining the live. Like I said, I did start a little bit early. But as you can see behind me, this is the official schedule of our 2021 Chicago Bears. And it's terrifying. I know. But we can't look at the opponents. All right. We just have to play our game. The Bears have to play their game and handle their business. What's the confidence level looking at the schedule behind me? You know, I'm kind of like in between. What's the confidence level? Let me know. Before I give my reaction from each game, and I'm not sure if I'm going to give you guys a prediction of the record yet. I think I'm going to do a separate video on my prediction a little later. Man. Yeah, I learned that very quickly. Never go to Chicago in the winter. It was different. Like, put it this way. It was cold in California when we got back. But after we went to Chicago and witnessed the negative, I think it was like negative 11 during the game with a negative 30 wind chill, and then we came back to California, we were like, it's hot. And it was like 40 degrees in California, which to us is usually cold. So, yeah, it was different. It was definitely different. So here we go. You know, as you can see, we have the schedule behind us. We have the Bears 2021 official schedule behind us. Like I said, it's intimidating, but NFL is NFL football. I'm excited. I'm pumped for the season. Yeah. Let's start with week 1, guys. Let's start with week 1. We open up week 1 on Sunday Night Football, and I believe that is one of, I think we have 5 primetime games. So they did give us some love in that aspect. The Bears are going to be on primetime a lot. I think it has to do with us drafting Justin Fields. I think once Justin Fields becomes the Bears starting quarterback, that's going to hopefully make the Chicago Bears offense a little bit more dynamic. So we open up week 1 with the Los Angeles Rams. This is the 4th straight year that we play those bastards. And this time we owe them an ass whooping. You know, I like to say that a lot. When a team beats us here before and we play them again, I'm like, we owe that team an ass whooping. So we open up with our good friend Matthew Stafford in LA, Sunday Night Football against the Rams. I could possibly go to this game if I wanted to. I live in California, so LA is not too far from me, maybe like a 6 to 8 hour drive. Like I said, we owe the Rams an ass whooping. I think it's going to be a very good game. You know, you have Aaron Donald on one side. You have Khalil Mack on the other. Two of the best defensive players in the league. You know, you have Matthew Stafford in the new look Rams offense. This should be a good Sunday Night Football game. I know a lot of people may think, oh, this is not going to be a good opening Sunday nighter. But of course they're going to say that. And of course we're going to say our opinions about it because this is our football team. So of course we're going to be pumped for it. So we open up against the Rams. It should be a good one. I am pumped for that game. How do you guys feel about the Chicago Bears opening on Sunday Night Football? Let me know. You know, I'm not really too scared of Matthew Stafford either. You know, I am curious to see how he plays with that new look Rams offense. They have a couple of good weapons on the offense. But at the same time, I think since we're getting them early, that is possibly a good thing. Because maybe he's not adjusted to the offense. Maybe he's still trying to learn the offense. So maybe the Bears will sneak out of there with a win. I know the Rams already are a 6.5 favorite over the Chicago Bears. Of course, they're looking down on the Chicago Bears. Why wouldn't they? The Bears haven't proved anything yet to the NFL. and they have not given the NFL any reason to believe in them. So that's why I'm excited about this schedule this year. Yes, it's tough, but I think it's an opportunity for the Chicago Bears to prove themselves to the NFL. Yeah, that's the big thing, is how will our defense look this year too, with Sean Desai, new defensive coordinator, different schemes. We're trying to get our defense back to the 2018 ways. Obviously, we're having some players come back, and Eddie Goldman. So that's exciting. I think there's a lot of intrigue going into this Week 1 Sunday Night Football game against the Rams. Another question we have to realize, will Justin Fields actually start, or will it still be Andy Dalton? As of right now, I think it's going to be Andy Dalton. I think that would create a little bit more intrigue, though, if Justin Fields does start. It does worry me that, you're playing against Aaron Donald. Our offensive line is still kind of unproven, so I'm not sure if I would throw Justin Fields out there Week 1 against a beast in Aaron Donald. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. Like, I would love to see Justin Fields play, but maybe start in Week 2 against the Bengals, against someone not by the name of Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald is that dude. Aaron Donald is a freaking savage beast. He is scary, so I'm not sure. Thank you so much, Tyler. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining the live stream, guys. Make sure you guys share this podcast with every Bears fans that you know. I really, 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 really appreciate your guys' support. I know I tell you guys that a lot, but thank you so much for joining the live stream today. Yeah, that's the hope, that the Bears defense gives Matt Stafford nightmares. We've had decent success against Matthew Stafford, but that was him on the Lions. I'm really interested to see how he looks in a Rams offense that's pretty loaded with weapons. Yeah, I agree. That would be interesting to see Justin Fields give him his first big test against a really good Rams defense. Of course, they got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd had a monster season last year. So that would be a good test for Justin Fields. But I'm just, with the unproven O-line, and I'm not saying our offensive line is that bad, but I just think it's a little bit unproven. I'd rather go watch Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, go out there for Week 1, and then if they're confident in Justin Fields starting Week 2, then start Justin Fields Week 2. So like I said, I'm not going to give my prediction right now of these games. I'm probably going to do a separate video on my win-loss predictions of each of these games. So, after the Sunday Night Football game against the Rams, we come home against the Cincinnati Bengals, where Joe Burrow will be returning from an ACL injury. This one's going to be a good one. It's our first home game. I think it's definitely a winnable game. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. The Bears cannot lose their first home game. And something that I want you guys to realize about the schedule this year is that we don't play back-to-back away games, and we don't play back-to-back home games. They flip-flop, so it's away, home, away, home, away, home. So that's a little interesting fact that I realized by looking at the schedule. But we have Cincinnati Bengals week 2 at home. It should be a good one. I think, the Bengals did a lot to their offense. They drafted Jamar Chase for Joe Burrow, even though they needed protection. So that's something that I'm going to look at in this Week 2 game. What is our defense going to do against, I would say, a pretty unproven offensive line for the Bengals? That's one of the reasons why Joe Burrow got hurt, because they couldn't block. They couldn't block for Joe Burrow. So you're going to find out really early what this Bears defense is made of. Really, really early. And if they're clicking or not. So that's what I'm excited about, to see what this defense does. Yes, I'm excited for the offense, but I don't think I'm going to get super, super excited about the offense until Justin Fields enters the game. I like Andy Dalton, people. I do. But we all know he's not the answer. I don't think it's going to be fireworks with Andy Dalton. I could be wrong. But I think once Justin Fields enters the game, that's when I hope to see some fireworks with the Chicago Bears offense. Yeah, that's smart. Maybe start Justin Fields week 4 against the Detroit Lions. That makes sense. It really does. Um, the Lions are the Lions. I think that would be a good situation for him to go into, especially since it's a home game. I think Justin Fields should definitely start when they're playing at Soldier Field. That's just my personal opinion. I think start him when we play a home game. Don't start him on a road game. Yeah, and I agree with you, Tyler. I think we have to give Andy Dalton the chance. I don't think we just can start Justin Fields. I think we need to allow Andy Dalton to be QB1, but if he struggles, let's say, I know it sucks, but let's say he does start 0-2, 0-3, Justin Fields will start week 4 against the Lions if that's the case. So after the Bengals, we travel to a very good Cleveland team. Cleveland Browns are on the rise. I'm so happy for Cleveland Browns fans. They sucked for so long, and they finally had a little bit of success. That should be an intriguing game for a very good rising Cleveland Browns team. Like I said, I'm not going to give my prediction of these games. I'm going to do that in a separate video. But this one should be interesting. This is just a very tough schedule for the Chicago Bears. And to me, this is going to be a very good test. Very good test for a Chicago Bears team that is trying to prove themselves. So, have a lot of respect for Baker Mayfield. He's a tough guy, tough quarterback. I'm just hoping that Myles Garrett doesn't try to use our quarterback's helmet and try to hit him in the head. I know it's not really a joke, but I had to mention that. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel too, and I think I mentioned that a couple times in a couple of podcasts, is that if Justin Fields looks ready in camp and he truly beats out Andy Dalton in camp and preseason, he just looks better. And you're only going to find that out is if you play Justin Fields against some of the starters in preseason, right? That's the only way we're going to find out if he's actually better right now and is ready to play over Andy Dalton. But I do agree that if Justin Fields comes out and just outperforms Andy Dalton, I think there's no reason to wait. You're just holding back an explosive, talented guy in Justin Fields. And all Bears fans want to see him, so let the guy play. He's gonna be our future anyways. I don't think he'll be ruined. I know a lot of people will say, well, if you start Justin Fields too early, he's gonna be ruined. I don't think he's that type of guy. He's not Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky needed to sit his ass on the bench for a full year. But unfortunately, we had Mike freaking Glennon that couldn't play quarterback to save his life. Mitchell Trubisky and Justin Fields are two different quarterbacks. That's why I think Justin Fields, and I said this so many times, I think if Justin Fields beats out Andy Dalton early in preseason and offseason, he can play right away. He definitely could. So after we play in Cleveland, we have the Detroit Lions, which the Lions are the Lions. They have a new coach, new quarterback in Jared Goff. And the Bears play really well against the Lions, and we play really well against Jared Goff. So it's the best of both worlds here, I do have respect for Jared Goff. I think he did need a fresh start, so I'm interested to see how he looks with the Detroit Lions. Hopefully, Lions could get some success. But against my Chicago Bears, it's not happening. It really is not happening. I think this is going to be the time where hopefully we unveil Justin Fields here. And the rest is history. Justin Fields leads us to the promised land in his first year. Wouldn't that be something, right? Justin Fields starts week 4. He just starts tearing everybody up. Starts tearing up this tough schedule because no moment's too big for Mr. Justin Fields, people. I truly think that. I truly believe that no moment, no situation is too big for our new franchise quarterback, Mr. Justin freaking Fields. So let's move on, because I'm getting hyped up right now. You guys can tell the energy level is high. I'm feeling good about the situation. I'm feeling good about the Chicago Bears. And like I said, even though this is a tough schedule, I think this is a great opportunity for the Chicago Bears to prove their worth in the NFL. That's just my opinion. So after the Lions, we play the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas. Is another game I can go to. It's in California, pretty close, about a 6-hour drive from where I live. This one's going to be good. You got the new stadium. You got the party atmosphere in Vegas. So that's pretty cool for fans. Hopefully the players don't get caught up while they're in Vegas. But this is gonna be a fun game in Vegas. They had a new stadium. So once again, I think it's gonna be a tough game. I think Derek Carr is a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. Very tough quarterback. But like I said, we do owe the Raiders an ass whooping from what they did to us back when we played them in London. So I think this is going to be a good game. Obviously, there's an intrigue here in Week 5 playing in Vegas because of Khalil Mack and all that good stuff. So I'm excited for that Week 5 matchup against the Raiders. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Justin Fields. His calm demeanor, no moment's too big for that man. I'm telling you, I'm super pumped, guys. Super pumped. I feel like I talk so fast. I'm getting so pumped up right now that I'm losing breath here. I'm losing air right now, guys. I'm pumped. This is big. This is big time. This is the opportunity for the Chicago Bears to prove their worth right here this season in the NFL. People need to stop overlooking the Chicago Bears. I'm tired of it. But it's only going to stop if the Chicago Bears prove themselves. So it's a huge opportunity. Am I going to watch any games live? That's always the plan, The first course of action is try to get back to Chicago and watch the game live in Soldier Field. That's where I'm the happiest. Of course, I think my family and I are trying to go to one of those California games. I think we're leaning towards Vegas for multiple reasons. You can go watch a Bears game. You can get drunk. You can gamble a little bit. It's just a good time. So not only are you going to be able to watch the Bears game, you're going to have a good time, before the game as well. So we're leaning towards going to that Raiders-Bears game in Vegas. Yeah, I saw, I didn't really want to talk about the Packers, our arch rival. But yes, the Green Bay Packers made a huge move. One of the biggest moves in this offseason. They signed Blake Bortles. We should all be shaking in our boots right now because they signed Blake freaking Bortles. If Aaron Rodgers leaves to Denver or the Raiders, it's all right. It's all right, guys. They have Blake Bortles, and we should be terrified of Blake Bortles. Everyone needs, if you have a Packers friend or family member, make sure you check up on them. It's a really tough time. Do I feel bad for them? No, I don't feel bad for them. But make sure you check in on them. So, after that Week 5 game, we come home and face the Green Bay Packers. And I've been saying this for the last couple of seasons. The Bears need to figure out a way to beat these mother effers twice. I'm tired of split. When we beat the Packers, we only beat them once. I'm ready to dominate the Packers. I know it may not happen until Aaron Rodgers leaves, but I think our time is coming. I think once Justin Fields officially takes over the Chicago Bears, I think we're finally going to give the Packers the ass whoopings that they deserve. We're going to give them a taste of their own medicine. Hopefully it starts this year, because I'm so tired of watching the Green Bay Packers beat up on my Chicago Bears. It gets depressing, people. Like, Bears, when are you going to have some pride for the franchise and what George Halas built? And I know they always show, on the screen before the Bears-Packers games, they always show, oh, well, it's 98-96, blah, 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 in favor of the Packers. Do you guys realize a couple years ago, before we drafted Mitchell Trubisky, we actually led the series between the Packers, or it was tied or something? But the last couple of years, they just have kicked our ass and taken over of the all-time series. And it just gets depressing. I'm tired of it. I'm hoping Justin Fields comes in and changes that, and we give Packers fans a taste of their own medicine. Because look at here. If the Packers lose Aaron Rodgers, they're going to feel like we felt. They have no quarterback. Until Jordan Love proves himself, they have no quarterback. So they're going to feel what we felt. And hopefully we can beat the Packers twice a year. Twice a year. I do agree. I think Sean Desai is going to have the defense back and running, have those guys playing great football. That's the hope. We need to get the Bears. That's when the Bears are really good. When the defense is playing well, we're known for our defense. We'll always be known for our defense. So once the defense play is good, and let's say our defense starts playing good again, and our offense starts to pick it up, this can be a really dangerous Chicago Bears football team. All right, enough about the Packers. Then after Green Bay, in week 6 through week 9 is damn near a death sentence. That's the stretch of our schedule where we're really gonna find out what the Chicago Bears team is made of. Are they gonna go into a little ball and crumble, or are they gonna go out there and compete? This is where we're gonna find out a lot about this Chicago Bears football team. So week 7, we're at Bucks. Week 8, we're at the 49ers. And week 9, we're at Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football. There are so many big-time moments for the Chicago Bears to prove the NFL, to prove all the doubters wrong. So many big-time moments for the Chicago Bears to do that. So obviously we have the Bucks. I think we start Nick Foles that game. Let him handle his business, because he is Tom Brady's dad. So I think that would be a good time for Nick Foles. I'm just joking. That's going to be a tough one, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions. But here's the thing. It's the NFL. Anyone could be beaten on any given night. That's going to be a good one. Then we have the Niners. Hopefully we see a Trey Lance versus Justin Fields matchup here. I think that's when we're going to see a whole lot of intrigue there. Then we got week 9 at the Steelers. And I think if Big Ben is the starting quarterback, that game does not scare me. I don't know why. I think if someone else is the starting quarterback, it may scare me a little bit. But if Big Ben is the starting quarterback for that game, I think that should be a really, really good matchup for the Chicago Bears. And hopefully we can get after Big Ben that game with hopefully an improved Chicago Bears defense. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for joining my live. I appreciate all your guys' support of the podcast. Make sure you let every single Chicago Bears fan about the podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you tell your friends to hit that subscribe button. Let's try to create a huge Bears community right here on KIEQ on the mic. That would be much appreciated. So, as you can see, week 10, we have our bye. I kind of like that late bye. It kind of sucks when teams have their bye like week 4. Like that just doesn't make any sense. Like if the NFL gives you a bye week 4, they just hate you. That's just disrespectful right there. So I'm super happy that our bye is on week 10. And then right after the bye, we have to get back to business. We can't take, this is the type of schedule where, how some schedules come out and you're like, oh, there's a nice and easy part of your schedule. And then, you look and you're like, okay, now this is where, it's tough. Our whole schedule is tough. The Bears have to deal with it. Us fans have to deal with it. We can't hide. We have to try to go right through all these teams like a freaking freight train, people. So right after the bye, week 11, we have the Ravens at home. As long as we can keep Lamar Jackson in the box, we should be okay. Don't let him run like a maniac, because when you start letting him run like a maniac, I know it's easier said than done to stop him, but if you let him run like a freaking maniac, that's when the Ravens are really, really good. So it's going to be intriguing. Let's see what our defense does that game. And hopefully by that time, by this time, Justin Fields should be the starting quarterback, unless Andy Dalton comes out and plays MVP football for some reason. But at this time, week 11, I think it's going to be Justin Fields for sure. Week 12, we're back at the Lions. Week 13, we play the Cardinals. Once again, I feel like if you can keep Kyler Murray in the pocket, winnable game there. Should be a really, really good one. And then week 14, we play in Lambeau Field, Sunday Night Football. The one, I believe, of 5 primetime games. They were really generous with the primetime games for the Chicago Bears. I'm not sure why, but I'm not complaining. I like watching primetime Bears football. I think the only thing I hate is waiting all day to watch the Chicago Bears play. And the most frustrating part is waiting all day to watch the Bears play, and then they come out and lay an egg. That is the most frustrating part. So after week 14, week 15, we play the Vikings on Monday Night Football. So we go from Sunday Night Football to Monday Night Football. So 2 primetime games in a row. Let me take a step back here, though. Week 12 is the Thanksgiving game against the Lions. We're back on Thanksgiving in Detroit. I'm not a big fan of the Thanksgiving games, but hey, I guess it's good while you're stuffing yourself with Thanksgiving turkey to hopefully watch a Bears win. I truly think we're going to sweep the Lions twice, hopefully sweep the Vikings twice, and hopefully split against the Green Bay Packers. I feel like we play very well against the Vikings and Lions, and then we always struggle against the Packers. Bear down, Steve. Thank you so much for joining the live. I really, really appreciate it. Let me take a little intermission. I need to blow my nose. I'm over here having the sniffles for some reason. All right, I am back. All right. So, like I said, we play really good against the Vikings. We play really good against the Lions. We just need to figure out how to get over that hump against the goddamn Packers. Man, I can go on like a full, probably 30-minute rant of how much pain Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have brought to my life watching those games, I'll tell you. So, week 16, we got the Seahawks. Obviously, we try to get Russell Wilson. It's his loss now. We have a better option than Justin Fields. So, we'll get to see Mr. Russell Wilson in Seattle. That's going to be a tough game. Whenever you have guys like Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, you have a chance to win. So, that's going to be a tough one. Week 17, we have the Giants. You have Daniel Jones. And I believe a prove-it year. So, I think Daniel Jones can go one or two ways. He can play really, really bad or really, really good. I don't think there's any in between with Daniel Jones. So the Giants are in a situation. And of course the Giants want to beat us because they want to make sure they get a good draft pick. With that first round pick we sent them in order for us to trade up and get Justin Fields. And then like always, and this is most of the time, we end at Minnesota. We always seems like we play the Vikings the very last week. So this is the official 2021 Chicago Bears schedule. How do you guys feel about the schedule? Let me know in the comment section how you guys are feeling about this Bears schedule. And like I said, I know it looks intimidating. It is. It's a tough schedule. The Bears have the 3rd hardest schedule. So we should be a little worried, but at the same time, we should be excited for the opportunity that the Bears are getting to, I guess, prove the NFL and prove the doubters wrong. If you guys, be honest with me and be realistic here. I know we're all Bears fans. We all want to see the Chicago Bears do well, but be realistic. What is your record prediction for this year's Chicago Bears? What is your record prediction? And like I said, I don't want to give, maybe I'll do a breakdown later. I don't want to give a prediction right now. I would really like to hear your guys' predictions for this Chicago Bears season. 10-7, I can see that. 10-7 would be a respectful record. I think 10-7 would probably be more of a wild card. And I think that would be a decent record for a quarterback like Andy Dalton. Do you feel like if Justin Fields plays most of the season, would that change the record at all? Or would we have a worse record with Justin Fields compared to Andy Dalton? And it's really tough to say. We could be all wrong about Andy Dalton. I could be all wrong about Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton can come in and absolutely just tear it up. And we're all going to be like, man, we're in a really good situation now because we have a very capable quarterback in Andy Dalton. We have our future in Justin Fields. But at the same time, I do still think no matter what Andy Dalton does this season, he is just a quarterback for 1 year, and then Justin Fields comes in and takes over as the Chicago Bears starting quarterback. 12-5. 12-5 would be a very good record. 12-5 I would think 12-5 would probably be competing for the division. I like that. I like that. Yeah, there's not a lot of faith in Andy Dalton, but what can we do? We have to give the red rifle a chance. And like I said at the start of the live, a lot of people are calling him the red BB gun. They're not even calling him the red rifle anymore. He's the red BB gun, I guess. My record prediction, I'm not sure if I should give you guys my record prediction here or if I should do a whole separate video. You know what? Forget it. I'm going to do a whole separate video anyways. My record prediction, and this can go either way. I think if Andy Dalton starts, I do think that this is a Chicago Bears team that's a 9-8, 10-7 football team. I really do with Andy Dalton. I think if Justin Fields starts, and let's say Justin Fields comes in and he plays great right away, I think Justin Fields right away can get us to like that 11-6, 12-5 record. And I think this all depends on our defense as well. How will our defense play? I agree. I think Fields does need to sit and learn and be protected. You know, this is still a very unproven Chicago Bears offensive line. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're still trying to put the pieces together. So I think that's the plan for the Chicago Bears. Start Andy Dalton for the first 4-5 weeks. Let that offensive line click. And once that offensive line clicks, then insert Justin Fields. Yes, I do think Andy Dalton will start. My dad, I don't know what my dad's prediction is. I think my dad would be kind of realistic. I think he would say 10-7, 9-8, which 9-8 in this sense would be another 8-8 year. Let's be honest. You know, just because we added a game and it says, oh, we're 9-8, we have 9 wins, 8 losses, it would be another 8-8 year for the Chicago Bears if they went 9-8. Who else has predictions? Who else has predictions for this year? Tough schedule. Really, really tough schedule. I'm excited, though. I'm excited to see what the Chicago Bears are able to do. This is a crucial year, too. And it's crazy that in a year that we need to win, it's one of the toughest schedules we've seen in a long, long time. You know, a game that I look at, and I hate, I have to be realistic here. I don't want the Chicago Bears to lose any games. But if I had to look at any game and I said, oh, this is going to be an automatic L, something's telling me that Bucks game. I feel like since the Bucks are returning all their starters, I know we beat the Bucks, but that was before the Bucks actually started clicking. So I think we dodged a bullet. I think even though we're going to play a really good game against the Bucks, I think we're going to lose that game. Bird, that is a bold prediction. I predict the Bears don't lose a single game. I love the energy though. I love the energy. If the Bears go out there and go 17-0, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I do. But if you go 17-0, you have to win the Super Bowl. You have to. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know. The Bears going 17-0 would be a dream come true. But then the pressure is on for to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, just imagine. Yeah, I could see 9-8, 8-9. Um, and people have different opinions. People say, "Oh, Fields should a full year," or "Fields needs to sit until week 13," or "Fields could start right away." It's your opinion at the end of the day, right? So it truly just depends on 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 your opinion. I think Justin Fields can start right away if he comes out um, and outplays Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton will still start, but like I said in past podcasts, I think it's going to be really tough for Matt Nagy to not pull that trigger. It's like having a fancy new car just that you don't want to drive yet, right? You have this old car right here, and Andy Dalton. Okay, it still works well. I don't need that new car yet, right? It still works well. But once that old car breaks down, it's like, yes, I can finally drive that new car. You know what, Smooth? I'm scared. Blake Bortles, he's that dude. We should all be shaking in our boots right now that Blake Bortles will be maybe the new starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He's going to beat out Jordan Love and be the new starting quarterback for the Packers. So we should all be scared of that. I do remember that. Ben Roethlisberger did go 15-1 in his rookie year. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. That's how I feel that Justin Fields can be. I know people say he needs time, and he probably does, but I don't know. I don't know. I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see Justin Fields. Can't wait Justin Fields in a Bears uniform. I can't wait to watch him play in a Bears game. Yeah, I think all Bears fans would be ecstatic if it was Blake Bortles because I think Aaron Rodgers all haunts us in our dreams at this point. The dude is what, like 25-5 against the Chicago Bears? He has by himself dominated the Chicago Bears. That's why I like to say that the Green Bay Packers don't beat us. It's Aaron Rodgers that beats us. Yeah, I think if I think if Andy Dalton comes out and like you said, if he's like 1-2 or 0-3, I think that's when we insert Justin Fields easily. I don't think they're gonna hesitate. Since I live in California, I think we're trying to get to that Las Vegas game. Uh, I think that's gonna be a fun game for us to go to. It's close. Uh, Obviously, it's Vegas. So if you've never been to Vegas, it's a great atmosphere. So not only do you get the Bears game, you get to gamble, drink, just have a good time. So I think we're trying to get to that Vegas game. I hope Daz Newsome could be a breakout star for us. I think drafting Daz Newsome not only adds depth in the wide receiver room, but it adds depth as a special teamer as well. So I like that pick. I told you guys this before. I think Daz Newsome was a good pick, and I've been hearing rumors. I think actually today, Mike Fury, the wide receivers coach for the Chicago Bears, already said that Anthony Miller has been doing a lot better. He's been maturing. I think he's taking it serious now. So hopefully, maybe they give him another chance, and maybe Anthony Miller breaks out for us, and that would be an ideal situation. I think Anthony Miller has a really high ceiling, so hopefully that works out. I know. I try to go to Chicago every 2 years. That's the plan. Last time I went to Chicago was back in I think it was 2018 now, when the Bears opened up on Thursday Night Football. Or I think it was 2019 when the Bears opened up on Thursday Night Football against the Packers. So hopefully soon. Hopefully soon I can come back to Chicago and watch a Bears game. Yeah, I guess that's your opinion. No, I don't think you're gonna make my mood different about Justin Fields. That's just your opinion. I like Justin Fields, and that's why if he has those issues, that's why you have professional coaches to coach him and get better. But I do respect your opinion. I respect everyone's opinions. Like I said, thank you guys so much for joining the live. Make sure you guys tell all the Bears fans that you know about my podcast. Let them know. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications to get all Bears content right here on the podcast. The only concerns I have about the Bears defense is, one, will they get back to that 2018 form, which that's not likely because that was a really, really good year for the Bears. And two, will Robert Quinn have a bounce back year? We need someone on the other side of Khalil Mack to be able to get to the quarterback, because Khalil Mack can't do it all by himself. So that's the one concern I have. I think Justin Fields will get better. That's the hope. That's why we drafted him, to be our franchise quarterback. I agree. Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Daz Newsome, and you even have Anthony Miller. Hopefully, I think we still have Anthony Miller. I don't think he's going to get cut. I think Ridley maybe, hopefully gets a chance this year too. And then don't forget about Marquise Goodwin, Damiere Byrd from New England. They call our receiving core the Legion of frickin' Zoom now. Instead of Legion of Boom, we are the Legion of Zoom, because those boys can run. Those boys are fast. That's a very good comment, Steve. I do feel like if the offensive line, gets pieced together, and then, obviously you saw at the end of last year, David Montgomery was running like a madman. The offensive line was playing really, really well. So they can start that up. Uh, if they could start that up early in the season, I think that would really help the defense, because it sucks when the defense gets a turnover or goes 3-and-out, and then they come back, and then offense comes out and goes 3-and-out, so the defense doesn't get any rest. So that's where I think we struggled a lot last year. Yeah, that would be a good, Andy. I think that would be a good starting point. So you have 9 weeks, right? Or technically 10 weeks to get Justin Fields prepared for his first game, and his first game would be against, I would say, a pretty good Ravens team. Yeah, according to Juan Castillo, Jermaine Ifedi, they said that he's been working hard, like, almost like maybe he may have a breakout year. So, like I said, you never know. We have all of our opinions and stuff, but you never know what this Bears team is going to look like this year. Yeah, Tevin Jenkins is, like I said, one of my favorite picks. I'm excited to see Tevin Jenkins this year. Yeah, like I said, that's why I said smooth. I said just make Lamar Jackson throw the football. Keep him in the pocket, throw the football. Don't let him get outside the pocket. If he gets outside the pocket, you're done for it. There's nothing I can tell you. Yeah, week 6 to 9 right here, guys. As you can see, week 6 to 9. Packers at Bucks, 49ers, and at Steelers is going to be a brutal stretch. We're really going to find out what this Bears team is made of in week 6 to 9. Jenkins is that dude. Jenkins, I think he's going to be that guy. Jenkins is a tough guy. I'm excited for the season though. I know this schedule looks brutal, but we can't be afraid. We got to just trust our Chicago Bears and see. Yeah, I agree. If you go into that Ravens game and just try to stop the run and make them throw, you have a really, really good chance to win that game. Yeah, I like Anthony Miller. I think the Bears should give him another chance. Yes, he messed up. Everyone makes mistakes, but he deserves another chance. I think there's too much upside on Anthony Miller to not give him another chance. Let me tell you, if he comes out and he's inconsistent still and he's still making the same mistakes, then yeah, let him go. Let him walk. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for joining my live. Um, this is a big week for KIEQ on the Mic. Obviously, I put in my community post that I will be interviewing newly drafted Chicago Bears cornerback Thomas Graham Jr. tomorrow. It will be a pre-recorded interview that I hopefully will have posted by Friday or Saturday. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. Uh, Super pumped to have him on to hear his thoughts about being drafted by the Chicago Bears. Have a whole bunch of questions ready for him. Uh, so super excited for that. My thoughts on boxer Javon Wims is that he actually has some hands. He has that lightning hand speed. Maybe he can fight Jake Paul next, or one of the Paul brothers next. Yeah, I'm super excited for this interview. It's like the first big interview for the podcast. So I'm excited to see where this opportunity with this interview takes me. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to it too. So as you can see, the schedule is behind us. I am about to end the live. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys my initial reactions to our schedule. It's a tough schedule, but excited to see what the Chicago Bears do. Hopefully you guys are excited. Keep a lookout for the schedule prediction, win and loss prediction from me soon. I'll do that soon. So I think Javon Wims can have a decent season. If he's put in the right situation, I think he can be like that 50 catch, maybe 600 yards, 4 touchdown season, and that's a decent season for Javon Wims. I appreciate it. Yeah, the live chat is going nuts right now. I appreciate your guys' interaction with this live when I do go live. It's pretty cool to see. Thank you guys so much for joining the live. I will catch you guys soon. Make sure you check out that interview with Thomas Graham Jr. posted on either Friday or Saturday. And also keep a lookout for my win-loss prediction of this schedule behind me. Like I said, make sure you share this podcast with every single Bears fan that you know. Let them know to subscribe to the podcast. Let them know to hit that bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on KIEQ on the Mic. I appreciate all you guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace, guys.